Hi, I'm Greg Grandy, and I'm on a hunt for something good to eat. I was hungry when I first started this, but not now. Something in here stinks so badly, I think I've lost my appetite. Okay, I'll admit it, I don't clean out the refrigerator very often, and some of this stuff could be carbon dated. Woo! Think I found it. Ooh, the aroma of a rich, full-bodied cottage cheese. It's been sitting in there about 6 weeks, and whoo, that sure does smell. And it looks like something's growing in there. Hey, let's take this to a research lab to see if I've grown the cure for cancer in here. Wait till they see and smell this. Montana State University in Bozeman, Montana has a lab with unique expertise in biofilms. Let's see if they can figure out what's been growing in my refrigerator. Hi, I'm Greg Grandy with the Enviro-Tacklebox.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Cochran. Have a seat.
Wendy, it looks like you've got the technology here to help me identify what's been growing in my refrigerator.
Sure, let me take a look here. Oh yeah, this looks like a combination of microorganisms. But in order to determine that, we'll have to take it to my lab, stain it, and then bring it back here and look under the microscope. So first I have to stain the bacteria so that we can see them underneath the microscope. Bacteria are very small, and if we didn't stain them, we would see right through them. So while I'm staining that, let me just tell you a little bit about biofilms. Biofilms are living cells, and they need certain things to grow, like a surface to attach to and nutrients. Some bacteria don't need oxygen, but many of the bacteria we look at do. I found a combination of bacteria surrounded by a polysaccharide matrix. This polysaccharide matrix is kind of like a slime that protects the cells, and this is what we call a biofilm.
A biofilm?
It's kind of like a microscopic city. The cells are communal. That is, they live in groups, and the cells are surrounded by a non-living sticky stuff.
The polysaccharides?
Exactly. Polysaccharides are slimy, gooey, sticky stuff. I have some examples here of biofilm. This is a biofilm formed by E. coli. This type of E. coli is found in your intestines, and it's one of a group of microorganisms found in your intestines that help you digest your food. And this is an example of a biofilm that grows on the side of the vase when your flowers start to wilt. I also have an example of a biofilm that's found when you don't clean your toilet. All these microorganisms are found in your bathroom.
If I'm hearing what I think I'm hearing, that means we're surrounded by biofilms. Think about it. Refrigerator growth, dirty sports socks, a neglected shower floor in the locker room, that sandwich under your brother's bed. That mascara wand pushes air and germs into the moist makeup and then near your eye. The kitchen sponge, the dog's water dish. Don't change it. Just run your fingers on the bottom after a few days and feel the biofilm. Cut flowers wilting in a vase. The decaying green stuff is perfect food for bacteria. And ew, check out that slime. And hey, what about your eyes? Moist, open to oxygen, hard surfaces to adhere to. If I didn't have eyelids to help keep those colonies from forming, that film would happily grow here. Since there is so much water or moisture and nutrients in our bodies, biofilms must go crazy inside us.
As a matter of fact, they do. Your intestines actually are home to biofilms that help you digest your food. Biofilms that stick to the walls of your intestines can help fight diseases. Once biofilms settle down and take up residence in your intestine, some invading diseases are kept out because there's simply no room left for them. Biofilms can also develop in your body and can hurt you. See, white blood cells can attack a single bacterium that's just floating in your bloodstream. If the bacterium has already attached and turned into a biofilm, the slime protects the bacteria from the white blood cells so an infection can progress.
Wendy, Thanks for helping me identify what's been grown in my refrigerator and teaching me a lot about biofilms.
You're welcome.
Great. Well, you can keep the cottage cheese.
Thanks.
Okay, they've helped me identify what's in my cottage cheese. Now let's see what other research is going on here at the center.
Our research focuses on biofilm, and we bring together the expertise of engineers, microbiologists, chemists, mathematicians to solve really complex biological problems.
One of the problems with biofilms is that they're difficult to break apart, and so what I study is how the bacteria interact to cause a biofilm to break apart. Everything I do is like microscopic. Many different technologies are used in the study of biofilms. Laser and electron microscopy, genetic engineering, and surface physics are all necessary when studying biofilms.
Biofilms are everywhere.
In some industries, biofilms grow on the inner surfaces of pipes and can actually punch holes through the pipes, and this is a big problem. So we're studying how to prevent what we call biocorrosion. But not all biofilms are bad. One of the biggest areas of research right now at the center includes how we treat water. One of our larger efforts is in using microorganisms in a biofilm to remove nutrients from water so that other microorganisms downstream can't grow. Sometimes when chemicals are spilled in the environment, biofilms can be used to form a barrier around this chemical, known as a biobarrier, to prevent the chemical from migrating or seeping into a water supply. In the mining industry, biofilms are now being used to purify precious metals such as gold and copper, instead of having to use toxic chemicals, which are often dangerous to the environment.
Some of the problems that we're addressing will help people have cleaner water or less costly industrial processes. In the medical area, if we can come to some resolution of finding out why biofilms occur and controlling those biofilms, it could potentially improve our health.
Biofilms have many uses in biotechnology, but they also carry out beneficial processes in the environment.
Our search for biofilms has brought us here to Yellowstone National Park. We're here with Wendy and Dave to take a closer look.
All right, let's go.
Great. This is gorgeous. So Dave, what are we looking at here?
Well, Greg, this is the Norris Geyser Basin. This is the hottest geyser basin in the park, and some say the world. And this is one of the best places in the park to find biofilms. Let's go take a look.
Fantastic. How does the hot water affect the biofilms that live here?
Well, the type of microorganisms that live in these thermal features is determined by the temperature of the water. So at one temperature, near where it's boiling, for instance, you'll have one type of microorganism. And as the temperature cools down, you'll see different types of organisms become present in the water.
What are these colors we're looking at here?
Well, these colors represent different microorganisms. Each color is a different microbial community. We have on the right here, this reddish color is one type of community determined by the water temperature. In the center, we have a different community with a different temperature. And on the left, this green community is yet another temperature.
Wow.
So this is one of our principal sampling sites for biofilm in Yellowstone.
What are you sampling and why are you sampling here?
Well, this is a complex bacterial and algal biofilm community, and we like to come down here and take samples of these biofilms to look at how they might be communicating with one another. This is a complex community, an ecosystem really, and we're studying how the microorganisms within each of these layers talk to one another. Well, you know what makes biofilms here at Yellowstone important are the fact that they grow in an extreme environment, high acid, high temperature, and that means that they have to have special enzymes in order to live in those environments. And we can use those enzymes in a lot of commercial applications.
And that's what we call bioprospecting. But a researcher has to be careful. They need to notify the ranger station and obtain special permits in order to collect somewhere.
Well, Yellowstone's really the greatest natural laboratory for microbiology in the world.
Biofilms are amazing.
Yellowstone National Park is better known for its large mammals like bison and bears, but we've learned a lot about its rich microbial diversity and the great promise it holds for the future. Thanks for the biofilms tour.
You're welcome.
These are some great biofilms here on the edge of this stream.
Did you know that Yellowstone has more geothermal features than any other place in the world? Holy mackerel! Hey, you can grow your own biofilms. Here's all you need: a plastic knife or a popsicle stick, some paper towels, and some tape.
Cover the plastic knife with a paper towel and put the tape around it. Then stick it in the ground. It works best near a garden or in a flower pot.
That's where the soil has lots of nutrients to feed the biofilms. Wait about a week. Then voila, biofilms on a stick.
It's neat looking, but I'd rather a popsicle on a stick.
Biofilms are everywhere!
I'm coming to see the dentist for 2 reasons. First, I need to get a checkup, and second, I need some information for that report I'm doing on biofilms. My teacher said my dentist could help me. I don't know how, but I guess I'll find out. I hope I don't have any cavities.
Hendekea, I'm going to look right on this side. We're just about finished with this exam. So tell me, you've been working on a research project, is that right?
Uh-huh.
You have? And that's what you were telling me about it? Some things like biofilms. I think you're in the right place. Now that we're finished with that part, let me show you what I mean by biofilm. This is plaque. Plaque is a biofilm. It's something that's hard to see. It's on just about everybody's teeth. It's in a perfect environment. It's in a wet environment, moist. It has to be fed by some sort of nutrients, and we surely do get some food in that mouth, so we got a great food source, and it has to have some place that it sticks to, something that it adheres to. The teeth are a great place for that. Some of the acid that is produced by this plaque, this biofilm, is so powerful that it breaks down the enamel. You have a close proximity of plaque against the teeth. It secretes acid. It demineralizes the teeth. It breaks it down. It actually makes it softer. And that's where your whole process of tooth decay comes into play.
So brushing your teeth gets rid of food. I guess that's important because food left on your mouth and on your teeth feeds the biofilms.
That's true. That's exactly right. That's why we have so many bristles on a toothbrush. And that's why we use toothpaste, which has abrasives in it, silica. It's fine abrasives that are able, like fine sandpaper. That's you take these fine pieces of sand, and it's mixed into the toothpaste, and along with the bristles, they disrupt the plaque and the biofilm. Biofilm and plaque now goes into the toothbrush. It is caught up in the saliva that's constantly in your mouth, and we swallow some. A lot of it is spit out when we rinse our mouth out, and some is in that toothbrush. So therefore, we've got to rinse that toothbrush off really well.
So that's why we change our toothbrush regularly, because they can collect biofilms?
You are exactly right. That's true.
This has been very interesting, Dr. Ripple. But one last question. Do I have any cavities? Tacklebox Brain Teaser. Plaque-removing abrasives in toothpaste are made from A, monkey earwax, B, fossil sea algae, C, leaf extracts, or D, baking soda.
So biofilms can affect your personal environment inside and outside. Take a look. I've got my plaque-fighting fortified toothpaste that helps knock biofilms off of your teeth. This scum-busting bathroom cleaner contains chemicals to help remove biofilms. And this air filter is to replace my old one because the moisture in air conditioners, as well as the hefty volume of oxygen, nutrients, and trapped particles from the air, are perfect for breeding bacteria. In fact, This old newspaper tells about a disease spread to people at an American Legion convention in Philadelphia back in 1976. Over 200 people had symptoms of coughing, fever, and pneumonia. An investigation traced it to a biofilm, or a community of microorganisms growing in the cooling towers of the hotel air conditioning system. To this day, the sickness is called Legionnaire's disease. Think about how careful NASA has to be with the air system on the space shuttle. Along with all their other chores, those astronauts have to constantly monitor the air and water filters to make sure they're not circulating, drinking, or bathing in a biofilm. But because of what biofilms are, we can make them work for us. At Louisiana State University, they've used microbes to help clean up problem oil spills.
My name is Dr. Ralph Portier. I'm an environmental scientist working with biofilms. A biofilm is a community of microorganisms. And we know that microorganisms are the decomposers. We can select specific members of that little bug community and use them in a biofilm configuration to do all kinds of neat things in cleaning up the environment. One of the best examples of using a biofilm in a real environmental situation is when we have oil spills. When oil spills in the ocean, it forms a nice thin layer in relationship to the water. It's a perfect scenario where we can add microbes. Remember, microbes being added in a very thin film, that's what biofilm means. And when we add microbes in a thin film on an oil slick, then the bacteria have the best conditions to actually chew up the oil and clean up the spill quickly. I'm going to show you a real simple oil spill experiment that you can conduct using microorganisms as a biofilm. Just a little bit of salt water here to be our small version of Prince William Sound, and we'll add a little bit of oil to it, and roughly about 2 tablespoons of oil. This is, again, a small amount of microorganisms on a surface, and we can actually spray this by an airplane or back of a Coast Guard cutter. And what it's designed to do is not only absorb the oil and keep it from coming ashore, but it also inoculates the oil with the right microbes to actually degrade the oil of the seed. Biofilms have great appetite. We choose the members of the biofilm community for the type of job we wish to accomplish.
The answer to the Tacklebox brain teaser is B, fossil sea algae.
A biofilm can act like a lint roller, picking up or sticking to unwanted chemicals. I've heard of some city sewer systems using biofilms to clean water. Remember, a biofilm is a diverse community of living cells. They need nutrients, a surface to attach to, and some need oxygen to survive. Biofilms can be harmful or they can be helpful. That's all for the show. Now it's time for me to clean some biofilms out of this refrigerator. Woo! That one's okay. Inside and outsiding. Take a look. Inside and outsiding. I've got my aluminum siding here.
I've got them white now. It's time to head back that lily pad. Here you go.
Woo! But one last question. Do I have any cavities?
That's clean enough for now.